Hello and welcome to my another video. Today I'm going to explain multidimensional poverty index MPI, and I'll show in Excel how this index can be calculated. So the multi-dimensional poverty index MPI was developed in 2010 by the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative OPHI and United Nations Development Program. It replaced the Human Poverty Index 1 because it is more precise and it looks at 10 specific indicators across 3 dimensions to identify who is poor and how intensely poor they are. The MPI is based on mainly 3 indicators. Okay, so the this table shows 3 columns. First column is indicator, dimension. Second column is indicators, and third column is weight. So first we need to distribute the weight. The dimensions are 3, that is health, education, and living standard or standard of living. All the 3 dimensions are given equal weight, that is one third, one third, one third. One third for health, one third for education, and one third for standard of living or living standards. Now, each dimension, that is health, has 2 indicators: nutrition and child mortality. And education, another dimension, education, has also 2 indicators, that is years of schooling and school attendance. Similarly, standard of living has 6 indicators: cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, housing, assets. Now, since health dimension has the one third weight and health has 2 indicators, so each indicator has 1/6 weight, that is one third into half. Similarly, one third into half. So the one third is divided into 2 parts. So that is why this is 1/6, this is 1/6. Similarly, for education dimension also has 2 indicators and the weights are distributed. One third is distributed among the 2 indicators. So 1/6, 1/6, or one third into half, one third into half. In the similar fashion, the indicators under the dimension of standard of living, there are 6 indicators, so the weights are one third into 1/6. Since 6 indicators are there, so one third is distributed among the 6 indicators, so the weight is 1 by 18. So this is the standard form, and the researchers can able to include in different dimensions with respect to the demand of that issue or study or of that particular area, something like this. But if they include 1 or 2 indicators under one any dimension, it will be reflected by the change of weight also. Suppose the researcher want to include another indicator in the standard of living, so the weight will be now one third into 1 by 7, that is 1 by 21. So in this way, for the other one also, if the researcher want to include another dimension under health, which is very essential for that particular study, so the weight will be one third into one third, that is 1 by 9. Okay, in this way the weights can be given. Now, how to compute the MPI? The 3 steps are there. 3 steps. First, identify deprivation. Okay, so the indicators are nutrition, but how can we measure in the questionnaire? What we have to write? We have to write that under nutrition, any adult or child is undernourished. So undernourished may be measured through introspections or underweight or BMR. Okay, that is BMI index. Okay, or any other standard measure to measure the undernourished. The questions will be binary type. The response will be binary type. That is yes or no. So does that household has any adult or child is undernourished? Yes or no. Similarly, any child has died in the family. Okay, so yes or no. So in this way, through yes or no binary response variable, we need to collect the information. Similarly, years of schooling, No member has 6+ years of schooling. Yes or no? School attendance. Any school age child is not attending school. Yes or no? Cooking fuel. The household uses dirty fuel, that is wood, charcoal, or cow dung. Yes or no? Sanitation. Does the household lacks access to improved sanitation? Yes or no? Drinking water. Lacks access to safe drinking water? Yes or no? Does the household has no electric? The household has no electricity? Yes or no? The housing floor, roof, or walls are of poor quality material? Yes or no? Similarly, asset profile. Household does not own basic assets: radio, TV, bicycle, motorcycle, or land? Yes or no? So in this way, we need to frame the questionnaire and side by side the weights. Now, for each household, check which one of the 10 indicators they are deprived. Mark 1 if they are deprived, 0 if they are not deprived for each. Okay. So now, after that, the second step is add up the weighted deprivation score for each household. The maximum possible deprivation score will be 1. After that, we need to identify the poor households. A household is MPI poor if its deprivation score C is greater than equal to 0.33. It implies that the deprived in at least one third of the weighted indicator. After that, we need to calculate MPI, multidimensional poverty index, is equals to H into A. What is H? H is the incidence of poverty, that is percentage of population identified as MPI poor, and A, the intensity of poverty, that is average deprivation score among the poor. So hypothetical example, it is given with respect to 5 households. Okay, though it is given in this way, 5 households, but I am showing it in Excel. It will be clear. Suppose through your primary survey, we have surveyed 10 households, 10 households, and this is our questionnaire. So from questionnaire we have taken the information in the Excel. All the questions are written in one row. This is the 2 questions under health, 2 questions under education, and 6 questions under standard of living dimension. So the first question, nutrition, regarding the indicator nutrition, any adult is undernourished, or yes or no. If yes, then 1. If no, then it is 0. In this way, for all the indicators for all the 10 households, we have collected this hypothetical data set. Suppose, now steps: identify the deprivation for each household, check which of the 10 indicators they are deprived, mark 1 deprived or 0 not deprived for each. We have done this step. Now compute deprivation score C, add up the weighted deprivation for each household. Maximum possible deprivation score is equals to 1. How can we do this? So this is the deprivation score can be calculated by weighted score, that is this one into this one plus this one into this one, this one into this value into this weight, this value into this weight. In this way we can able to calculate. Suppose this value stands for 0.5. Okay, so the value of the indicator multiplied by its weight. Similarly, all the 10 households, suppose this is hypothetical calculation that we have got these values. Now we have to identify which one is greater than 0.33. So the shaded or colored values are more than 0.33. Okay, the value threshold value 0.33. So this one 33 greater than 33, 0.33, 0.33. So there are 6 households out of 10 households. There are 6 households are there whose values are greater than 0.33. So we can identify in the next column that MPI poor. Yes, this household is MPI poor, MPI poor, MPI poor. So out of 10 households, we have identified 6 households are MPI poor because their value is greater than 0.33. Now we know the formula of MPI equals to H into A. So H is equals to incidence of poverty, that is percentage of population identified as MPI poor. So out of 10, 6 are MPI poor. So H is equals to 6 by 10 equals to 0.6. And A, we need to calculate the value of A, that is intensity of poverty. How can we calculate this? Average deprivation score among the poor. Those who are MPI poor, we need to take the average value of this deprivation score. For example, in this case 0.5 plus 0.45 plus 0.37 plus 0.57 56 plus 0.66 plus 0.45 and divided by 6. So this is 0.49. So in this way we can calculate the intensity of poverty also. So this is 0.49. Now if we take the product of these two, multiplying H into A is equals to 0.294. This is the multidimensional poverty index. Now, if we compare this value with respect to India's MPI into 2023, that is 0.121. So this hypothetical value is much more higher than India's MPI in 2023, and it is much more less than or lower than the African nationalizer, that is 0.587. So in this way we can calculate multi-dimensional poverty index. Okay, so thank you for your patient sharing. That's all for today.